Welcome back to Elevate Studios, guys. Today I want to talk about the 5 apps we use at the studio for our workflow broke boy version, because I see way too many creators delving into apps which have $500 subscription fees attached with them. I'm not made of money, and also I'm too stingy to be spending that kind of money anyway. So let's talk about 5 essential free apps that help with all parts of the content creation process. I'll be breaking these down by each stage, so ideation, packaging, design, editing, and distribution. But before we dive in, make sure to like and subscribe for more straightforward creator advice like this. The first stage of any successful video is ideation. If you start with a weak idea, no amount of snazzy transitions is gonna help you. The idea has to grab the audience's attention. And so that's why the first app I recommend is, drumroll, ChatGPT! Yes, you've probably heard of that, I know, but it doesn't have to be ChatGPT. You can also use Gemini, Claude, or whatever LLM you prefer, but you basically need to view these AI chatbots as your unpaid employee. Think about it, you essentially gain access to a researcher who knows everything ever written on the internet, and they work without you having to pay a penny. Great! I've used AI in the past to brainstorm topics, but let me be clear about one thing. Do not rely on it to be your creative soul. What I mean by that is, if you just straight up ask, hey, give me ideas for a food channel, it's gonna give you the same generic garbage everyone else is posting. Instead, use it to stress test your own ideas. Tell the AI, here's my idea for the perfect ham sandwich, these are the steps, but what have I missed? What are things that people might expect? Then AI, using its infinite knowledge, fills the gaps in your knowledge. It will likely give you some points that you've missed, which you can then add in the script to the video. So just use AI for assistance, not the main way you come up with ideas. I'm jumping a few steps here, but let's get to packaging, because AI is also great for that part of the content creation process. You can make the most amazing video in the world, but if the packaging, the title and description, isn't optimized for search and click-through rate, it will die a slow death and no one will ever come to know your greatness. So this, guys, is a very crucial step. In the past, doing keyword research meant hours and hours of manually checking search volumes and looking at what your competition are using for tags. I used to do that back in the day. Now though, I just feed my script into ChatGPT and say, hey, act as my SEO expert, and based on the script, give me 5 high CTR titles and a description filled with natural keywords that's gonna help me rank and search. And boom, within seconds, I get exactly that. It helps you package your content so the algorithm knows exactly who to show it to. You can even feed AI content creation advice from gurus on the internet, like myself, because I'm definitely a legitimate guru, and it'll just compile all that information and package your videos for you, which is amazing. I don't know if AI is going to be taking over our jobs or our lives in the future, but for the time being, it's so good for these kind of things. ChatGPT is my new best friend. Once you have your ideas and your SEO strategy, you need somewhere to put them. People always recommend things like Notion, and look, Notion's great if you want to spend 3 days building a database you're never going to use, but for an emerging creative balancing a 9 to 5, it's often too much. The free version of Notion has limits, and the complexity can actually create a form of procrastination because you'll be spending hours customizing things and the layout. That's why we use Google Docs. It's basic, it's free, and most importantly, it's lightning fast. The reason Google Docs wins for us at Elevate Studios is the fact it syncs so well across all devices. I can have a random spark of an idea while I'm chilling on the toilet, pull out my phone, and boom, I can just write away in my top secret document full of very cool ideas that no one will ever see. And then when I get to the studio, the idea is already on the desktop waiting for me. Now with my Google Docs, I follow a very strict template. I have the title and description already decided thanks to ChatGPT, and then tags, followed by either notes covering the hook and meat of the content, or a script outlining what I'm going to talk about. Ultimately, don't overcomplicate it. You just need somewhere to store your ideas, and Docs does that pretty well. Next up is the visual packaging, which is basically thumbnails. If the title is the hook, the thumbnail is the bait. I recommend Canva for every creator regardless of their skill level. Now, I'll be honest, I know I should probably learn Photoshop, every pro says Photoshop is the industry standards, but let me ask you, do you think I have the time for that? I'm a very, very busy man who needs to doom scroll on TikTok and watch AI slop. Jokes aside though, Photoshop has a learning curve that can take months to master. Canva, on the other hand, takes a few minutes to learn. For a novice or a busy creator, Canva simplifies everything. It uses a drag and drop interface that allows you to fix and tweak visuals in seconds. It also has a massive library of templates that can give you a base to work with. At Elevate, we use Canva for A/B testing for our thumbnail text. As I told you before, your thumbnail text should never just repeat your title. If your title says how to batch content, your Canva thumbnail should say save 20 hours. Again, AI can help you with this as well, but Canva makes it easy to swap those text elements and export them instantly. Plus, like Google Docs, it syncs across all devices. I can start a design on my laptop and finish it on my phone while I'm eating lunch. That's crazy. Now we come to video editing. At Elevate Studios, we use Final Cut Pro because we have high-end Mac minis to support it. Subtle flex. Adobe Premiere Pro also works very well and is suggested by many creators. Both are great, don't get me wrong, but they aren't accessible to everyone. They're expensive, and unless you're sailing the high seas for a pirated version, which I definitely don't recommend, wink wink, the cost is a barrier. And so for those who want a professional look without sailing the high seas and without the professional price tag, CapCut is the winner. What makes CapCut so special is that it was built for the modern creator. While Final Cut and Premiere Pro were made for movies, CapCut was built for TikTok, Reels, and Shorts. It's packed with trending transitions, auto captions, and effects that are already optimized for what's working on social media right now. Yes, I know many of these features are behind a paywall, which does suck, I can't lie, but the free version offers enough to still do the job for any content creator beginning to produce content. Finally, we have the most underrated app in the Slack, YouTube Studio. I know, you're probably thinking that's a bit of a cop-out answer, not really an app, but trust me, most people are not using YouTube Studio to its full potential, and technically it is an app because you can get it on the App Store. Most just use it to check their views and get a rush of dopamine, but there are so many features YouTube natively offers that people do not take advantage of. I've already delved into many of this in a separate video that you can check out in the icon above, but for example, recently, did you know that YouTube launched an AI assistant directly inside the Studio app? It's designed to break down your analytics into actionable insights. In the past, you would have to manually look at a retention graph and guess why people clicked away at the 2-minute mark, but AI can now summarize your performance and literally give you suggestions for your next video based on what your specific audience is watching. That's very useful. Now, while these apps are powerful, they reach their full potential when paired with the right environment. That's why we built Elevate Studios. You can have the best editing app in the world, but if your raw footage has bad lighting and echoey audio, the app can only do so much. When you bring this set of apps into a professional space where the lighting is preset and the teleprompters are ready, your dreams become a reality. Okay, I kinda sound like a slimy salesman there, but seriously, you can stand here and record videos. This space is available for the whole community, and look how amazing this looks. So book a session with us right now, and you can leave with high quality videos ready for you to edit. So let's quickly summarize the apps I recommend. We have ChatGPT for strategy and SEO, Google Docs for organization, Canva for packaging, Canva for snazzy editing that works for social media, and YouTube Studio for data-driven growth. But a system is only as good as the people using it. I want to hear from you guys. Which apps are you currently using to manage your workflow? Is there a tool I missed that changes the game for you? Drop it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a straightforward guide to creator growth. Keep planning, keep batching, and remember to keep elevating.